The goal of the ballroom dancing is, I believe that we know that exercise is now beneficial for persons with MS. Options for people remain limited due to differences or the wide variety of disability and symptoms. So I feel like recreational activity has not been emphasized enough. So at the very least, I believe that ballroom dancing or recreational social dancing can be an important component of really just an active lifestyle, of staying active, not being sedentary. It's, we don't really think of it as exercise, which might be a good thing. Sometimes exercise can have bad connotations, even though we know that it's good for us. So I think at the very least, ballroom dancing can be a fun, social form of physical activity. I am not approaching this as this is something that everybody with MS should do. I think that's ridiculous. But for a person that might consider it, or for a couple or a group of friends that are looking for something fun to do on the weekend, I think it would be a great option. And it might be, ballroom dance has kind of captured the public's imagination recently with the popularity of some of these, well, reality TV shows such as Dancing with the Stars, So Do You Think You Can Dance? So there's been almost kind of a renewed interest in dance in the United States. And as a result of this, I think people might be more amenable to trying something new. The study that I performed, we were looking at it almost like an alternative to an exercise, a group exercise program. So there were 1-hour sessions twice a week, and we had people go for, well, we had 2 studies going. One was 6 out of 8 weeks. The current study that I'm working on now, they're going 8 out of 10 weeks. So we're kind of comparing them to more traditional exercise. Now, I don't believe that after all is said and done that this is necessarily what the recommendation should be. Then you run into the same type of issues with dance as you would exercise. Oh, I'm too busy, I can't do it. But I don't see any reason why it couldn't be just, again, part of your lifestyle toolbox of things that you can do to keep active. We have to make sure that we're comparing apples to oranges. So one of the things we would need to do is to make sure that the intensity of exercise is similar, and then we can look at, let's say, the cardiovascular benefits. So the dance sessions that I did for my pilot study were fairly low to medium exercise intensities, but they were within the realm of what would be recommended to see an exercise benefit. So we would certainly expect to see similar cardiovascular benefits or maybe strength benefits if we normalize for the amount of time exercising and what we call the intensity. I do think that dance may provide some additional benefits, though, that, let's say, riding on a stationary bike may not, or walking on a treadmill. There's a cognitive challenge that's involved with learning new tasks and new motor patterns. A person would need to not only learn these, they'd need to have them memorized, be able to adjust to changes in tempo, be able to adjust to proprioceptive input from a partner, whether you're a leader or a follower. So it's actually quite complex. And as a result of that, we may see some benefits from dance that we might not see in a traditional large muscle exercise. We see a tendency towards improved balance using both the Berg balance scale, which is a measure of static and dynamic balance, as well as the dynamic gait index, which is a measure of both dynamic balance as well as gait. So we're seeing these, and this is similar to what people have seen in other chronic diseases when who have gone through a dance program, such as in the elderly, people with Parkinson's disease or stroke. Is that we saw an improved test of cognition, the PACE-AT, which is PACE Serial Auditory Addition Test. People really hate it, but there was a significant improvement in both in our pilot study as well as the study that we're looking at now, at least at this moment in time. And at first that was very surprising to us. And I don't think that you would see this, with just a standard exercise program. We strongly encourage participants in our program to come with a partner, whether this be a spouse, significant other, or friend. There doesn't have to be any romantic interest. It's always kind of fun when there is. And so we encourage this. And by having a partner, the partner is essentially acting as an ambulatory aid to help with balance and stability and perhaps allow a person to perform exercise without the need for a cane or a walker, doing activities that they wouldn't normally be able to do with the aid of their partner. And interestingly enough, one of our instructors made the comment that she thought that having a man without MS dancing with a woman with MS can sometimes be a bit of an equalizer. And I don't want to appear sexist here, but oftentimes she would say that it was the woman who was helping the man to learn the moves, even though she was clearly leaning on him for support. So it was kind of a little bit of an equalizer in that respect. For our participants, we were not presenting the dance as adaptive per se. However, we certainly wanted to be cognizant of safety issues. So all the dance instructors went through an MS workshop. So they understood the disease, the range of balance and stability, or even cognitive issues that might come up. And as it turns out, many of them, either in their current lives or in former lives, may have already taught someone with stroke, for example, or may have had experience teaching in a Parkinson's dance class. So it wasn't that much of a stretch to bring them to where they're comfortable dealing with a mixed group of people, mixed with respect to symptoms and disabilities. And we would also monitor the situation. There would always be one of us during the first couple of classes to see if there was anyone that really needed someone there just to make sure things were going okay.